CMO. Today I'll be sharing with you how to avoid real estate mistakes Nigerians in diaspora make. I've been in the US for about 2 weeks now. And in the past 2 weeks, I have discussed with several people who have bought land in Nigeria, who've bought houses, and there are a few mistakes they've made. So if you're joining me and you don't live in the diaspora, but these things, you will learn how to avoid them. If you're joining me and you live in the diaspora, then you should be paying 100% attention, because I'll be sharing with you mistakes Nigerians in diaspora make when it comes to real estate and how you can avoid it. So, welcome. My name is Tope Mark Odige. I'm an investment coach and I'm a growth coach. I help people turn their cash into transgenerational wealth using real estate. So, with assets in real estate, you can build cash flow long term, and I guide people into the wisest investment that would be profitable long term, which is why I don't call myself a real estate expert. I call myself an investment expert. So anything investment, I am here for you. But today I'm sharing about mistakes you should avoid if you are a Nigerian in diaspora and you want to buy assets here. So I've had conversations over and over again. I've been doing a US tour and I've been meeting several people across different states. I've been to Atlanta, I've been to Houston, I'm currently in Dallas, and I've been talking to customers for over a year who live in the diaspora. And one of the big mistakes Nigerians in diaspora make when it comes to real estate is that they feel that the cheaper the better. They feel the cheaper the better. So people go in to buy land, to buy houses that are plainly just cheap, thinking that because it is cheap, it is better. And I want to start by saying no. When you buy a land in a remote area where you have no interest in developing, you are likely to lose your initial investment. Because when you go for a cheap land simply because it is cheap, without understanding the entire details of that land, you are in a potential position to lose the funds you spent on acquiring that land. So I'll share with you a story of someone I had a conversation with who was telling me about the fact that, they bought a land. Of course, you know what they say about Ibejuleki. I bought a land close to Dangote Refinery. I say, how close is it to Dangote Refinery? I don't know. They say it's close, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes from Dangote Refinery. I say, okay. I have been to Dangote Refinery area for several, I can't even count, over 20 times. And there are rarely any estates 10 minutes away from the place, if we're being honest. So let's listen to this thing and analyze it very well. So if you're just joining, I'm sharing real estate mistakes that Nigerians in diasporas make and how to avoid it. Please share this video, share this video with everyone. Share with family and friends who live in the diaspora. Share with people who want to turn their cash into transgenerational wealth. Let them join in and learn. So, people think because it's cheap, it is better. If it is cheap, there are a few things involved. Most cheap lands don't have complete documentation. So if it is cheap, find out what the documentation is. And I will tell you for a fact, I have a land that only has registered survey and I'm selling it. But I tell people, it is cheap because it has registered survey. If it has C4, you'll be paying 5 million naira for that land. So if you are buying my estate in Ekpe, you are buying it at like 1.2, 1.5 million naira. It's because it has registered survey. So if you want to buy a land that has proper documentation, you will pay more. And sometimes they'll be like, they cheated me. They cheated you because you did not ask the right questions, because you did not have the right information, and you were sentimental in your purchase. So let's go back to the basics. Number one, cheaper is not better. If it is cheap, find out why it is cheap and let them explain it to you in detail. So I'll give you another example. The reason my land in Ekpe is cheap is because it is a location for land banking, which means that everybody that buys into Ekpe now, they are buying the future. They are not buying a place they want to develop now. And I tell everyone, we are not developing for the next 2 years. Back to the story I was going to share about a man that bought a land close to Ibejuleki. The man said that he bought the land. He actually even did a bit of due diligence. He visited the land. They showed him the general area. But 3 years after, he didn't get a physical allocation. He could not build. He wanted to build. They told him he could not build yet. That the document was not complete for him to build. He could not build. You paid for the land. It was not a location for land banking. They didn't tell him it was a place for land banking. You know the way I am explaining to everyone that Ekpe is for land banking. They didn't tell this person that the land is for land banking. It was marketed to him as a place he can develop. But alas, 3 years after, there was no allocation. Now, when I asked how much he bought it, I knew why there might be a problem. Because the price he bought the land compared to other people in that area was ridiculously cheap. Apparently, the land hasn't been completely bought before it was sold to him. And till now, they still haven't developed anything on that land for 3 years. So here is what I always say. Find out, number 2 point, find out what is the purpose for this estate. Find out the purpose. Find out the purpose. Why are they setting up this estate? Is it going to be a commercial area? Is it going to be a residential area? Can I build a bungalow? Can I build a duplex? Can I build a mansion? Can I ask those questions? Sometimes I can tell you, it can be a bit annoying to answer those questions. So, because people can ask questions, but I take my time to explain to people because you're spending your money. And I've been in the US for many days now. People work hard. Nights, they are working during the night. They are doing Uber during the day. They are doing GoDash. They are doing Uber Eats. They are doing Amazon. People are working round the clock. Nobody deserves to lose their money. Even if they steal the money, quote and unquote. They don't deserve to lose their money. So if a representative or a company is refusing to answer your question, you must get suspicious. If they don't have the answer or they are unwilling to disclose the details of the transaction, you should get suspicious. So ask the questions. Is this estate is it ready to build? Very important. Because if it is cheap, it is likely not a developed area. Don't fool yourself. You cannot buy Ibeju-Lekki for 5 million naira and you can develop it immediately. It is a lie. So be realistic. Be wary of good deals that are disguised as great offers but can actually be costing you your money. So the first point is, if it is cheap, be careful. Second point, ask the question, what is this estate meant for? How soon can I build in this estate? How soon you can build in the estate is very important, because if you buy an estate that you cannot build it in the next 1 year, then you should know this location is for land banking. Then ask the questions on land banking. And here is the first question you should ask on land banking. Can you help me sell the land? Many companies will not commit to helping you to sell the land because they've moved on to another estate. Many companies will not commit to help you sell the land. So find out, can you help me sell the land? Be sure that you have a commitment from the company to help you sell the land if it is for land banking. And then ask yourself, do I want to do land banking? I would say you should, because land banking gives you potential opportunity for your wealth to appreciate. And this is one of the mistakes many Nigerians in diaspora make. They don't ask the right questions. They fall for my uncle, my brother, my sister recommended, or oh, this person is my church member, and I understand. You might not be getting scammed. You just might be missing out some details in your transaction. You might not be getting scammed. Back to the story I was sharing. This man bought the land 3 years after there was no physical allocation. He wants to build. He wasn't allowed to build. So obviously, he got uncomfortable. But because the company was not a scamming company, he got a refund. He demanded a refund and he got a refund. Of course, the refund was less 25%, which is usual management cost. But he got his refund back. I would have advised him not to get a refund. Because if you put your money for 3 years without appreciation, you have lost money. Your money is not the same value. Do you understand me? If you put your money into an asset and you did not get the asset appreciation and you lose 25%, you have lost money. What I would advise anybody watching me right now, maybe you've bought a land and the land is not being allocated, or you bought a land and you are not allowed to develop within the time they promised you should develop. What you should do is ask for a reallocation. So maybe you bought into Repville, Lugbe, because we have an estate in Abuja. So you bought into Redview Lugbe. Let's now say that the Redview Lugbe area you bought, you're not getting immediate allocation. And of course, in all honesty, if you buy a land from me in Redview Lugbe today, you can develop it immediately and move into that place before the end of the year if you desire. But let's just say, for example, you buy this estate in a location and they did not develop that estate. Don't say after 5 years, I'm asking for a refund. That's wasting your money. Don't say after 2 years, they should refund me. That means that your money has depreciated, especially if you bought the land when dollar was like 400 or 350. Now you are being refunded when dollar is over 500. You have lost money times. Don't do that. Don't do that. What I would advise you to do, if you have a case where you bought a land and you are not getting allocation or you are not allowed to develop the land, ask the estate, do they have another location where you can build right now? If they do, ask to be reallocated to that place at no extra cost. And you have a right to demand that, because they are the one that disappointed you. They are the one that promised and failed. They owe you. If you get your money back, you have lost. How to avoid losing is to ask for a reallocation to areas where you can develop immediately. Very important. So, someone asked a question. Don Dugui asked a question. He said, can you explain what land banking is? All right. So land banking essentially is banking on land. You know, you put your money in a bank because you expect that it will be safe and it will appreciate. There'll be a little interest. Or you put your money in a bank because you want it to be safe and you want it to retain its value. Now, land banking is where you put your money in a land. You banking your money on land with the expectation that it will appreciate and then you can sell it for a higher value later. And I always share this story of someone who bought a land in Osapa, London for 500,000 naira. True life story. I know the person personally. I know for a fact that he bought that land for 500,000 naira, and 15 years after, don't say 5 years, oh, I want the money to be 500%. 15 years after he bought the land, that location appreciated by 9,000%. He sold the place he bought for 500,000 naira for 45 million naira. Let it sink in. From 500,000 naira to 45 million naira. That can happen only with land banking. No physical bank can give you that level of appreciation. So, if you're just joining, I'm sharing with you how to avoid real estate mistakes that Nigerians in diaspora make. If you are a Nigerian in diaspora, you bought a land, you have probably made this mistake. And if you are about to buy a land, you should watch the video from the beginning to avoid making these mistakes. So, number one, I said, cheaper isn't better, because obviously cheaper isn't better, because when it is cheap, there's a reason. Most likely it's not ready for development. Two, if you buy a land that is not ready for immediate development, have a conversation for reallocation, not refund. I know that it might make you feel bad that maybe you bought a place, and I know someone it happened to. True life story. Someone bought a land in Lagos, and the place they bought was not ready for development. And I advised the person to get a reallocation to Ibadan. Guess what? The Ibadan location appreciated by almost 50% in just 3 months of purchase. So sometimes you might be sentimentally attached to a location when in actual fact, everything works out for good if you have the right advice. That's why I don't introduce myself as a real estate expert. I am an investment coach. And my own goal is to advise you on the right investments, how to swap investments, when to diversify or divest from the investment. Because there's some investment that makes sense. Like, I'm in America now and I have a real estate asset fund, but I'm not marketing it in America. Let me explain what real estate asset funds is. Real estate asset funds means that you are investing your cash into a real estate company so that you will get percentage returns. You are not going to have to spend you are not buying a land, but your money is used to purchase a land. Then that money will appreciate. Now, with real estate asset funds, the maximum interest they will give you in 1 year is 25%. In most cases, they will not even give you 25% in 1 year. So let's say you get 25% in 1 year. Before you, my dear brothers and sisters in diaspora, convert naira to dollars to do that investment, look at the rate of depreciation of the naira. If you put 1 million naira into real estate asset funds at 20% ROI, maybe you put 100,000 naira. Add that 20%, you get 120. Now, try to convert your 120 into dollars in 1 year time. You might not even have up to 100,000 naira because the naira has been steadily depreciating. So if you are in the diaspora, you need to watch the depreciation rate of naira. The only thing I would advise you to invest in is land and house. The only thing I would advise Nigerians in diaspora to invest in is a land or a house. And if it comes to land, it is extremely important that you are buying a land that will appreciate. Now, if you haven't watched my video on how to buy a land that will appreciate, just scroll into my timeline, go into my video, I've done a live about it. I've done like 1 or 2 lives about it. You need to understand how to buy a land that will appreciate. Because if you are putting your money in naira, with naira's depreciation, your assets must appreciate at a higher rate than the naira's devaluation. If you are investing in naira, your assets must appreciate at a higher rate. The wise people are taking notes, because what I'm teaching you, you should be paying me a lot of dollars to learn this, honestly. And I'm teaching you for free. Very soon, what you are getting for free, you'll be paying for a Zoom meeting to learn it. But for now, I am giving it to you for free. You know? So, let me tell you this. The asset you are acquiring must appreciate at a rate higher than the depreciation of the naira. And you must think about it. Project, if naira gets to 1,000, what would my asset be worth? And ask yourself, would this asset appreciate enough for me to take this risk? So, let me go back. Somebody is asking to explain real assets, real estate, not real assets. I called it REEF. REEF. Get the acronym REEF. Real Estate Assets Fund. Real Estate Asset Funds. Now, let me explain what Real Estate Asset Fund is. It is a fund that is gathered by a group of people. You plug your percentage into it. You plug your 1 million or 5 million or 50 million, and that amount of money is used to acquire a land to be sold. You will be getting a percentage. It's like you doing a bond. It's like you investing in bonds, but this bond is not for the government, it's for real estate. Now, for real estate asset funds, if they are giving you 20% in a year, it's likely that by the time your assets appreciation takes place, your assets and your ROI and your fund is released, if you are in diaspora and naira continues to depreciate, it might not be worth it for you. So I don't advise it in this season until there is some form of stability with the naira before you should risk it. I will not advise it. I would only advise that anybody in diaspora invest in buying land or buy a house. Now, when it comes to buying a house, let me still give you another. See, like what I'm telling you, what I'm sharing with you, as an investment coach, it is something that I tell my personal clients to do. Don't put the money down 100%. Get a good deal where you can spread your payments. Look for it 24 months, 12 months on a house. If it is for land, you can put your money down for the land because your land will always appreciate. And when it comes to land, if you spread your payment, you will pay more. In most cases, if you spread your payments for land, you pay more. But for houses, there is usually not much percentage added to it. Spread your payment if you are buying a house. Spread it. There are 3 solutions I'll offer when you want to buy a house. And I think a house investment is still good in Nigeria. If you are in the diaspora, if you are in Nigeria, you should still invest in house. Number 1, if you want to invest in house, don't go buying a house where you cannot get rental value or Airbnb value. If you don't have a family member that will live in the house, Don't buy a house where you will not get rental value or Airbnb value. If you're buying a house in a place where there is no rental value, maybe imagine if you go and build your house right now in Ibejuleki, far into Ibejuleki. There's no Airbnb value. If anybody is telling you there's Airbnb value, it's a lie. Lie. Divided by lie. It's a lie. You cannot get Airbnb value in Ibejuleki now because the commercial activity has not reached that level. Will it get to that level in 5 years' time? Yes. In 5 years' time, you should be able to get a bit of Airbnb value in Ibejuleki, but not now. Not now. So if you are projecting towards 5 years' time, good. So if you're buying a house in Ibejuleki now, what are the things you should have in mind? Rental value. Rental value. What is the rental value that will come from it? If I am paying 50 million naira for a house, how many years would it take me to get that money back? Do I really want to tie down 50 million naira to be getting small money for a long time? Ask yourself that question intelligently and answer yourself honestly. So if you want to, rather than you paying 40 million for a house in Ibejuleki or paying 40 million for a house very far off, I would rather you buy a house of 150 million naira in Aja. You can get Airbnb value from there. And you can get a higher rental value from there. Now, you can say, I don't have, all of you in Nigeria, I have a yesterday I was talking to somebody, the person was like, hey, TMO, all of you in Nigeria, you just be calling 100 million, 50 million. Now, so we they see the money for here. I say, sorry, sir. I'm very, very sorry. It's just that where there is scarcity is the law of economics. When there is scarcity, the value would appreciate. There isn't enough land in Lagos, and island land is like gold. So it will continue to appreciate. No vex. It's like New York. If you want to go and buy anything in New York, in Manhattan, in New York, not New York, Long Island, though. New York, it's going to be expensive because there isn't enough land. So that's the reason it is really expensive. But like I was saying, number one, spread your payment if you are buying house. Number two, ensure that you don't buy a place if you are not ready to live there. I was coaching somebody this afternoon in a session, and I explained to him that if he wants to buy a house, he should buy like a two. I asked him why he wanted to buy a house. He said he wants to buy for his mom. I'm like, well done. I'm hoping my children, I'm going to raise them up like that so that when they grow up, wherever they are in the world, they are sending money to their mommy because I hustle for them. They are sending money home. That's my own prayer. So when he told me he wants to buy a house for his mom, I said, fantastic. I said, but if your mom is old, does she need a 4-bedroom? Does she need a 5-bedroom? Does she need to be climbing staircase? Will she be able to climb the staircase? Why don't you just buy her a 2-bedroom bungalow? Tastefully furnished 2-bedroom bungalow. And I have such location for you. So when I told him about it, 7-year payment plan or 5-year payment plan, you can pay in installments and you've bought her a house. So for me, I had to advise him, don't go buying that expensive house because you are working so hard here in America. So spread the payments, make it convenient over a long period of time, and she would bless you forever for gifting her a house, So back to what I was saying. Houses in Lekki, Aja, they're very expensive, but they have value. So if you don't have that 150 million to buy the house, or you don't have that 100 million to buy the house, why don't you gather with yourself, with a few friends, and buy that house? So you are bringing 10 million, they are all bringing 10 million. All of you have 10% stake in the house. But guess what? You have created a cash flow channel, which is very important. You don't get wealthy without cash flow. No matter how much money you have today, if you don't have cash flow, you will become poor if you continue spending it. You need to have something that brings in money, small. It might not be big money. It must be bringing in money small, thereabout. And many Nigerians in diaspora feel that a lot of Nigerians are scam, which isn't true. There are a few percentage of scammers, but it's not It doesn't cover everybody. Yes, Sanvi, a 7-year payment plan exists in Nigeria, and I have such offer for you if you are interested. If you want to buy a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom bungalow, only available for bungalow. It is available. You can send me a WhatsApp message and we'll chat about it. Back to what I was saying concerning you gathering money together to buy a duplex. So you can buy a 4-bedroom duplex. Many of Nigerians in diaspora, how many weeks do you spend in Nigeria? In a year? How many weeks? But you will buy a house and lock it up. Who bewitched you? Why don't you create a business out of it? So you and a group of friends buy this house together, and instead of you locking the house up, make it available for Airbnb. And whenever any of the investors are around, they have access to the house for free. So I believe strongly that many people, many houses are on the island under lock and key, and they could be bringing you residual income. No matter how small the income is, it will still bring you money. So it's important. It's important that I don't have friends that I cannot discuss money with, though. If you are my friend and we cannot discuss business, then trust me, our conversations will happen once in a month. My friends that we discuss business, I call them regularly. Oh, the bungalows will not really be, the locations. See, I believe in honesty. Honesty no dey keep person. Pata you will not buy from me, but I will tell you the truth. So somebody is asking me a question. Blessing Godwinner. Godwinner, your name sounds like you're from Edo or Delta. Blessing Godwin Hagavari. Let me not spoil the name. The bungalow cannot be used for shortlets. The bungalow can only be used for rent, like long-term rent. It will not work for shortlets. That's the truth. Because of the locations of the bungalow. We have bungalow in Mowe. We have bungalow in Ibejuleki. We have bungalow in Abuja, Lugbe. The locations of the bungalows are good for residents, not for shortlets. So that means you would get rental income, not Airbnb income. Auntie Viola is like, oh, Auntie Viola is my big sister. Oh gosh, she's such a blessing. I will forever be grateful for her. I like Auntie Viola, you are a blessing. I will call your full name, Abiola Wazi, so that everybody would know. Auntie Viola make me fine. Auntie Viola make me shine. Auntie Viola, God bless you forever and ever. I'm the kind of person that you just need to do good for me once. I will never forget. If you have blessed me, you are always in my prayers, because in this world, you know, we need to be a source of blessing to others around us. It's very, very important. So sorry, I'm taking time out in my life to shout out to a very, very wonderful person in my life. Auntie Bella Nwaze, God bless you. So, do you have knowledge of other areas except Lagos, like Imo State? Okay, I'm not going to claim to be a professional when it comes to Imo. I've never been to Imo. I've been to Onitsha. I've been to Edo, you know, because my husband is from Edo, but I don't know much about Imo State. But what I will tell you about Imo is that if you're buying a place in a, like, somewhere that is not like a major metropolis, you need to calculate the distance. When I visited Ogbomoso last, what I realized is, if you are on a major road, you need to consider major roads. How close are you to a major road? 30 minutes from any city center, you are good. So if you want to buy a land in Owerri, calculate 30 minutes from a city center. If there is a hub of activity, if you are 30 minutes from that location, you are good. You can invest there. Even if it is a village, 30 minutes from a city will become a city in maximum 10 years. 30 minutes from any city will become a city. So you can choose to say, I don't want to buy like a major road in Owerri, but I'll buy 30 minutes from a major road and you'll be fine. You know. IK Osinachi, thank you. Ikadi, well, thank you. Thank you guys. You know, I've been having these conversations with a lot of people that I've been meeting on my US tour, and I realized that it's important that I share some of these things with you. I am going to need to end this live because in 1 hour time, I'll be meeting with those who registered for my Real Money in Real Estate Dallas. Yes, so I'm going to be heading out right now. And if you want to know more, then you should stay tuned to this page, follow this page, and I'll always be sharing tips on real estate. I'll be sharing tips on how to make real money in real estate, and you will definitely be getting many inspiration. When am I coming to UK? When you invite me now, Jennifer Okereke, I am going to come if you invite me. I will come when I get the invitation. US has been amazing so far, and I'm praying for a more profitable trip the rest of the day, all through till I leave here. And for every one of you that joined me, God bless you. Remember, I am not just your real estate expert. I am an investment and wealth coach. And when you talk to me, I can guide you into how to turn your cash into transgenerational wealth using real estate. Thank you all so much for your time. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out. Bye.